Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we'll be talking about the final season of the show Hunters. Fun fact, this show's premise, hunting Nazis in America, might seem a little far fetched because why would there be Nazis hiding in America? But the American government actually instituted Operation Paperclip, which after the war brought some Nazis to America to work for the government. This season came out in 2023 and starred Logan Lerman, Al Pacino, and Jerrika Hinton, and was created by David Weil. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Hunter Season 2 picks up in the 70s still, with the team disbanded after an outing where Jonah accidentally kills a kid. Jonah finds that Hitler is still alive and hiding in South America, and he needs the help of his team to take him down. On the journey to take down Hitler, Jonah meets a new family member, and we also get a glimpse into the past and see how far Meyer actually went to prevent anyone from knowing that he was a Nazi. Hunters is a historical fiction conspiracy drama. It has similar vibes to Inglorious Bastards, The Man in the High Castle, or Watchmen. Season 2 surprised me when they announced it was the final season. I'm glad that they got to Hitler quickly after showing him at the end of the first season instead of just dragging it over multiple seasons. I feel like there were minor threads left open at the end of this season, but overall, I think that the show ended on a solid note. Logan Lerman leads the show as Jonah, who in season 1 gets thrown into this mess after his grandma dies. Logan is known by many people for playing Percy Jackson, but I think it's about time to realize that he has grown up, and this show proves that he has moved on to more mature material and is handling it well. I love seeing him take more of a leadership role this season and trying to juggle his personal and Nazi hunting life. I love how the show constantly shows how much his Softa meant to him and how she truly influenced his character. It was really sad to find out that Meyer is the one who ordered the people to kill her, which honestly was not something that I was expecting this season. I think Logan does a great job in this role, and now that the show is over, I really look forward to seeing what he does next. Al Pacino is in a lot of flashbacks this season, returning as Meyer, who is dead in the present day after Jonah found out that he was Wilhelm Zukes, a Nazi known as the Wolf. In the flashbacks, we see how he got this team of Nazi hunters together while also removing anyone who found out who his true identity was. Al Pacino is a legend when it comes to acting, and I think that just getting him for this show was great because he played the character so well. Through some of the flashbacks, we also hear a little bit about how, yes, Nazis are awful people, but they also speak about anti Semitism in other countries as well as Japanese internment in America. I think it's important to talk about these things because I think that there were countries that were anti Semitic that didn't get talked about enough, or people would shift the focus to Germany. And people should really look at other countries who may have contributed to anti Semitism getting so bad that a person like Hitler was able to become a leader and exterminate so many Jews. But also, none of these countries should be exempt from judgment because they have done shameful things that shouldn't just be swept under the rug. Hava was a cool addition as Jonah's great aunt, who could be intense but got the job done. We come to find out that she knew about Jonah and her sister, but just never reached out. The scene where she sacrificed herself was heartbreaking because she spent her life fighting for this moment and had just reunited with Jonah, and she got killed so that he had a chance to go after Hitler. There were a lot of good moments in the show, but for me, episode 4 is probably the most stressful. Hitler's men are sent to kill the hunters at their hotel, and all hell breaks loose. Jonah's fiance is caught in the crossfire, ends up getting kidnapped. Roxy gets shot by Joe, and by the end of the episode, we don't know if she's going to make it or not. And Georges gets killed by Joe. It was a stressful because there was just so much going on, but I'm happy that Roxy ends up making it out okay. And Clara, even though she is kidnapped, is actually able to help undo some of Joe's brainwashing, so that helps them for future episodes. Some elements seem to mirror the rise of neo Nazis in present day America. In the scene where Hitler is going to be on trial, there are so many of his supporters outside. It's crazy that they would even have a trial in the first place, but to see so many people supporting him after the horrendous crimes is just awful. When I saw that crowd, it reminded me of how alarming it is in today's age that people still feel okay to walk around with a Nazi symbol, even though we know that the symbol was used to justify the murder of millions of innocent lives and is just truly disgusting. When Hitler first gets captured by Jonah, there is this chilling scene of Hitler walking down the hall where we see the ghosts of many Jews staring at him. I thought this moment was so intense to see the person who ended so many Jewish lives finally being caught by a Jewish person, and these ghosts were a reminder of the people who died. In the next episode, we get to see Mindy's testimony against Hitler, which was even more heartbreaking. Even though the show is fictional, in that moment, I just felt like Mindy was telling the world not only what Holocaust survivors have been through, but also why the Nazi Party needs to be rid of once and for all. She gives an honest recount of her experience and she speaks directly to Hitler, even though the judges are telling her not to, and tells them how much he ruined her life in a really powerful scene. At the end of the series, I'm glad that everyone is happy in their lives. Originally, Jonah steps away from hunting Nazis, but I'm glad that he eventually makes his way back into doing that after finding out that Meyer is the one who ordered his grandmother to be killed. Because let's be honest, the world is going to be a much better place without Nazis. I wish in this season that they would have explained maybe in the first episode why the team was disbanded. They really dragged that explanation out throughout the season, and I was wondering why there was so much tension. And while they did explain it, I think they should have just done it a little bit earlier, just so like we can move past that and just continue on the season knowing why there is so much tension. Also, they should have let just Travis die. Him disappearing at the end shouldn't have like happened because one, he's been shot like multiple times, but also I think it was just time, especially with this being the series finale, for his storyline to end with his death. I think my favorite part of the season was episode 7. When this episode started, I thought I was watching the wrong show, but as the episode continued, I realized it was a flashback to wartime Germany. We meet a German architect and his wife who, come to find out, are hiding lots of Jewish people in different parts of their specifically designed home. Some Nazi soldiers come and stumble upon these Jewish people, but the hiding spots are booby trapped, so the soldiers don't actually make it out alive. The German couple seems like they're talking to themselves a lot throughout the episode, but we come to find out that most of the time they're talking to the Jewish people hidden in their house. In the end, they get figured out, and the kids escape, and the parents fight to stop the Nazis that are at their home. In the end, we find out that one of the kids that was kind of like the ringleader in ensuring that the kids escaped from that ordeal is actually the person who helps Jonah escape after he captures Hitler so that they can bring him to justice. It was an interesting episode that really came full circle, and they explained the story so beautifully and showed it, and then we got to see kind of what that importance would be immediately by the end of the episode, and I think that it was one of the best episodes of the season. Hunters is an interesting piece of TV that slightly stressed me out and always had me wondering what's next. The cast was amazing, and I think while there were minor gaps left, it was a solid wrap up for the show. If you haven't seen Hunters, then I suggest that you check it out. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.